I got two polls right here. One from Quinnipiac, the other one from Rasmussen.
Yes.
I think this had a little bit to do with your somewhat getting back in this campaign also. The latest,
yes.
I'm looking at the trend lines, okay, from
yes.
Quinnipiac. And it shows that, you know, you against Mr. Blumenthal is running right now 55 to 35.
Yes.
While Linda McMahon, who spent, like you said, $20 million into this campaign, is running 54 to 37. Relatively, with the margin of error, is completely equal. And that's basically been the trend since at least May.
Yes.
When you decided to curtail your campaign.
Yes.
Now, Rasmussen, I'm sorry, let me continue on this. 38% of the public feel favorably that Ms. McMahon has the right experience to be U.S. Senator, while 49% disagree and do not feel that she has what it takes to become U.S. Senator. Rasmussen basically is mirroring the same thing as well, showing that Linda McMahon against Blumenthal has 53, Linda has 40. You against Blumenthal 56-33.
Right.
With the margin of error, that isn't that far off, again, considering that she spent $20 million in this campaign. You had the Vietnam flap that came out, and you have not basically spent no money whatsoever. You're relatively running the same.
That's
How much of that how much was a factor in you being more vocal and coming out with this TV ad right now?
That is somewhat of a factor with me, but I can assure you that's a factor with people that were calling me. And I find myself in a very unusual situation. Have you ever heard of Governor Lowell Weicker? Senator Lowell Weicker, the last Republican senator we had. Well, he and I have had our differences over the years. In fact, I voted against his income tax, and he didn't appreciate it. And yet he is publicly calling me to get more active in the race. Have you ever heard of Ann Coulter, the syndicated columnist who actually grew up in New Haven, Connecticut? She's calling for me to get back in the race. Now, she's somewhat on the right of the spectrum, and Governor Weicker is somewhat on the left. So if people, prominent people, all across the political spectrum are saying, get more involved, you know, that's a significant issue. And I think they're responding to some of the polling data that you've mentioned. But to me, it's more important than that. It's not just these well-known folks. It's the people that I see in the post office. It's the veterans that I see at veterans events or down at the VFW or the Legion Hall. It's the people who call me, who remind me that I helped them when I was a member of Congress. And, you know, we helped a lot of people. I can't remember everybody. And say, look, you helped me. We want you to run. We know that you'll be a good senator, that you'll live with us, you'll listen to us, as you did as a member of Congress and a state representative. So I think about that, and I also think about the fact that of all of the Republican candidates for all of these big offices, I have the highest percentage of individual donors, 92%. 92%. Now, I raised $3 million over the last year and a half, and that's a significant amount if we didn't have some of these really wealthy people in the race.
Right.
But the number that really sticks in my heart is 92% individual donors. Some of these folks on Social Security, $10, $15, $20, $30. And I've had people call me and say, I don't want my money back. I want you to use it to run. And that hits you in the heart.
Well, do you regret, in retrospect, curtailing your campaign back during May?
No, I don't. I think it was the right thing to do at the time. And I felt it was right to give the other two candidates, who were fresh new faces, maximum opportunity to get out there and strut their stuff. But as you have correctly pointed out from the polls, those numbers aren't moving.
And again, this is what I quoted was just trend lines, which is much different than the snapshot it shows from May up to now.
Those numbers aren't moving.